Hello children, welcome back. It's Monday. Well, actually, Mrs. Turner recorded this on a sunny Saturday because I've got a very important job to do that needs to be done when it's sunny. So before I tell you about my important job, I'd like to remind you of something. Last week, I talked to you about the life cycle of a butterfly. And I wonder how many of you had a go at making your own. I did see some lovely photos that some of you did, so well done those children. So shall we remind ourselves about the life cycle? So the butterfly lays an egg on a leaf. Out of the egg pops a caterpillar. The caterpillar turns itself into a chrysalis. And remember, moth butterflies have a cocoon, and then after a while, when she's ready, out comes a beautiful butterfly. So that's our life cycle. And do you also remember that Mrs. Turner had a delivery? Do you remember I got so excited because I thought it was for me, but it wasn't. It was for you, zebras and giraffes. And also, lions had a delivery, didn't they? So I know some of you thought that Mrs. Turner had lions butterflies, but I promise I didn't. So today, our special job, we've got to do it quite quietly because it is tricky, is to have a look at what's happened to those tiny, tiny caterpillars. And then we've got to move them out of their home into a new one. So Mrs. Turner would have put some photographs on for you to have a look in a little while of all the different stages. So you're going to be able to see how the caterpillar got from a tiny, tiny one to look at those ones now. Can you see? They are much bigger. And that's because in the bottom of the pot was lots and lots of food, and they've eaten so much, they're ready to turn into butterflies. So they are hanging from the lid, and what Mrs. Turner's got to do very carefully is to put them on a little stand and then inside their new home. So hold on children, I've got to do this very carefully. Can you see I'm taking them out? You can see all the little silk threads hanging down that they have made to help them grow into butterflies. So I have to carefully turn it over. And then Mrs. Turner's got to see if I can put it carefully. Ooh, got to make sure it will go in there. Let's see. This is the tricky bit, children. And I really wanted to show you how I do it. So look. Can you see how many caterpillars we've got? 1, 2, 3. So this now has to go inside their new home, which again is very tricky, and I have to be so careful. Hold on, little caterpillars. I promise I'll be careful. Oops. You have to be so careful. Do you know, Mrs. Turner's going to put the little pot inside, and then I'm going to put them back on there. Thank you, Millie. Have you come to help? So I'm going to just squish them back in. As I said, this is quite a hard job. There we go. Millie, you can't have our caterpillars. We're waiting for them to do something. What are we waiting for them to do, children? Turn into butterflies. Now, these caterpillars will need to stay in there until they are ready to come out of their shells and turn into butterflies. And when they do, they will need to, if you remember, dry their wings because their wings will be wet. Well done. And then Mrs. Turner will show you the beautiful butterflies once they've come out. Okay? All right, children. So we're going to have to wait a little while. Mrs. Turner's going to put our caterpillars out in the sun to help them, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, have fun.